What's going on, people? It's SGZ here from the SpartanGameZone, and in this video we'll be ranking all 4 of the new legendaries from the final Director's Cut Vault Card Bunker Masters packed with fantasy themed loot. There's the Creeping Corruption, Blade Fury, Sidewinder and Mana Well. It can be hard to decide which one to spend your vault keys on first, so this video should help you find out which legendary best suits you. I'll also be explaining what they do and how you can increase their damage. If this video helped you out, I'd appreciate you helping me out by dropping a like, or hey, maybe you could even subscribe or follow me on Twitter, and let's crack into it. Before we get into the countdown though, I'll just briefly explain the easiest way to get these guns and how to get them anointed. They each cost 5 vault keys, which you can obtain from chests, which are unlocked every time you level up your vault cards. Leveling it up is pretty easy and is done simply by shooting things, but you can also speed it up by completing the daily and weekly challenges. I personally farmed the Ruiner. Once you have 5 vault keys, you can purchase them directly, with the first one you get typically coming without an anointment. You can then spend another 5 keys, which will grant you the same item with different parts and an anointment. So onto the countdown now, and we open this countdown of the best legendaries in the Bunker Masters Vault Card with the Sidewinder, a grenade mod that only ever comes non-elemental. It's actually the only Vault Card item out of all the Vault Cards that can come anointed from the get-go, and because it has fixed parts, you only need to get it once. The Sidewinder is pretty much an advanced version of the Fastball, at least in function. Forget the fastball, Ricky, give him the Sidewinder. Lobbing this grenade will see it home into enemies, passing right through them and dropping off presents. The presents are in the form of sticky grenades, which detonate a couple of seconds after they've been stuck. The main grenade detonates too, but often it's too far away from the playing field to do any damage. Speaking of damage, it isn't great. I needed to use a Guardian Angel to get it actually doing something. But the splash damage radius is massive, so massive that it will blow groups apart, and often you. It's pretty good on a Peregrine Flak and has potential to do some outrageous damage on Moes, but you have to hope it sticks to the crits. Next up, the Mana Well, a new shield with a small capacity but great recharge rate and delay. It's a shield with great offensive and defensive capabilities. Those are seen in full force whenever you activate its unique effect. To do that, you have to slam, which will cause your shield to steadily drain, but provide you 90% damage reduction, although on the card it says 70. On top of the damage reduction, you'll also deal 100% bonus shock damage. Its effect lasts for 10 seconds regardless of your shield's maximum capacity, and because the damage reduction is insane, you'll pretty much serve the whole time dealing that extra damage. To make its unique effect a lot more accessible, you'll want to pick up the Come On and Slam Guardian rank, which lets you slam at any height. With that, you can dip into its Mana Well at any time, increasing your armor and power rating. It's a great shield for modes because you can activate it outside of any action skill starting. Skills like Tenacious Defense help it get close to full capacity once its effect ends, and Force Feedback will restore a portion of her shield on every critical kill. There's also a number of other skills in her orange tree that synergize extremely well with it. It's perhaps most suited to a Spellcaster Flak, where you can use it as your Steadfast Ward and your Fortified Destruction Potion. The build centers around slamming, and so does this shield. It's simply a match made in Winterhold. What is a wizard without his Magicka anyway? Just a pointy hat and a beard. Next up, it's the Fury Blade, Blade Fury, a Jacob's Assault Rifle like no other. It's non-elemental and doesn't fire bullets, but knives. It is typically a fully automatic weapon, but like a few Jacob's Assault Rifles, you can even get a massive variant that fires 4 projectiles a shot at the cost of 2 ammo. Both are great, but the Gatling version is considered better overall. It's unique in the way that it deals both weapon damage and melee damage at the same time. That's like having your cake and eating it. Both of those damage sources in a single weapon is a wonderful thing. It means that it will deal some great damage even without any melee boosts. If If you want to see it dealing maximum damage, you will want them, and the key really is finding that balance where you don't neglect either of its damage sources, but embrace them both. It behaves in a way that no other gun does and shines brightest on Amara, serving as one of her #1 weapons for her most damaging build. She's the one with all those melee skills after all, and she can do some pretty crazy things with this gun. It's not just her though, other Vault Hunters can reap its rewards too, starting off great and getting even better the more support gear you add to the mix. However, if you're thinking of running this on Flak though, you'll want to avoid Stackbot as the differing damage types cause its stat count to reset. It's great with a whole host of anointments, reload stack, elemental crits, action skill end element, or even melee damage. However you set yourself up, just know there is some heavy damage here for everyone to enjoy. Number 1, we made it, and who's at top spot? It's the Creeping Corruption, my personal favourite, and that's why it's on the throne. It's a non-elemental dual assault rifle that's extremely good while mobbing and doesn't shy away from boss fights either. The reason it is so good while mobbing is thanks to its unique effect, which causes 2 green orbs to unleash from fallen enemies and home into anyone standing nearby. They fly out the left and right side and cause your opponents to become 33% weaker whenever they infect them. A maximum of 3 can be applied at a time, resulting in your enemies taking twice as much damage. You can tell enemies are inflicted by it through the green glow of their impending doom, and it will cause them to take constant corrosive damage, which is a nice bonus. The more you use it, the easier the fight becomes, as its corruption steadily covers the landscape. It's a great gun on everyone, but I did find it well suited to a Digi Zane. In that setup, you can give it to your clone and have them spread corruption too. Not only is it great in their hands, but enemies grow weak twice as fast, which has both of you defeating mobs in half the time. It's simply an awesome weapon, handles well, deals high damage, and just gets better the more enemies you're faced with. If there had to be a downside, it would be its lack of element, which can be fixed on Amara through infusion, but for others it just means you'll deal its same high damage wherever you go. So that's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed it and learned what item from the Bunker Master's Vault card you should unlock first. If you did, consider dropping a like or subscribing, and I'll catch you in the next one.